Welcome to South Asia Maps, and this is your facilitator for South Asia. At South Asia, we try to bring the culture, geography, heritage of Bharat, South Asia, India in the form of icons, images, and pictures for our easy grasping, understanding, and articulation and appreciation. And we are continuing our fascinating journey in the land of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, that is the land of five rivers, Panjnad, and land of five water flows, Doabs, Punjab. And we are talking about Doabs as a part of Punjab Geography. Doab is essentially, if Ab is a water body, that is a Persian word, there is one more Ab here. This is Jhelum river. This is a Ab, water body of Jhelum river. And there is a Sindh river, Indus river, water body Ab. Between these two Abs, Doabs or Doabs, the water body is called Doab. Ab, Doab. That is essentially the interflow between the two rivers Abs. Again, the Doab will have the bet regions and bars, elevated upland regions, and so on, that we discussed elsewhere. There are five such Doabs in Punjab, the historic Punjab, from Torkham and Landikotal, Khyber Pass to Paliwal, Nu, Faridabad, Delhi Reji, this area, Jalandhar Doab or Bist Doab, Bari Doab, Rechna Doab, Chaj Doab, Sindh Sagar Doab. That is the current topic of discussion. And I will discuss about Sindh Sagar Doab. And before discussing Sindh Sagar Doab, these are the districts I will be talking about in the Sindh Sagar Doab. You have Attock district, Rawalpindi district, Jhelum district, and Chakwal districts. These four districts come under a region called Potohar region, a type of plateau region. So, then we have a Muzaffargarh district, Layyah district, Bhakkar district, and Mianwali district, and parts of Kushab region of Shapur district, and parts of Jang districts. And these are the parts we will talk today and cover. And I have mentioned all the rest of the Doabs here, Bist Doab, the Bist Doab and Bari Doab, Rechna Doab, Jech Doab, and Sindh Sagar Doab. And Sindh Sagar Doab is the present topic of discussion in the current presentation. And we enlarge this one. See, again, the Sindh Sagar Doab, the term can be broadly used. Strictly speaking, the land, this is the Jhelum river. The Jhelum river rises near Anantnag or Verinag district region of Vale of Kashmir. Vale of Kashmir winds through Srinagar, Ular Lake, Baramulla, Bandi, Uri, then goes to Muzaffarabad here, and continues the border between Maharaja Gulab Singh Dogra's territory on the east and Hazara or mountainous territory of Punjab at west. And there is a Salt Range Mountains here, skits and continues its flow. And it is a tributary of Chenab at a place south of Jang called Ataran Hazari or Sarai Seidu. It joins its parent river, the Chenab. Between the Indus River rises somewhere in the Tibet, Manas Sarovar Lake. That region continues between the Ladakh mountains in the north and Jaskar, goes to the Skardu, and when it hits the Nanga Parbat, it takes the southern turn. There it gathers some certain important tributaries of Gilgit and so on, continues its path, and finally enters there will be a gorge called Tarbela Gorge, west of in the Hazara region, enters into a sort of plains and continues, and we have Attock city somewhere here. It enters a gorge there and continues journey, and finally at Kalabag it enters into the perfect plains. In Kalabag, that is just north of Mayanwali district or Mianwali district, and continues its journey like this and like this. At Maithankot, it gathers the combined streams of all the rest of 5 rivers of Punjab, called Panjnad or Panjnad at Maithankot. It continues its journey. For the current purpose, Sindh Sagar Doab is generally considered to be a Doab. We have a Potohar region, a plateau region, surrounded in the south by Salt Range Mountains. Below the Salt Range Mountains, on the west side, Sindh River, on the east side, Jhelum River. This region is called Sindh Sagar Doab until it continues to Jhelum River. Afterwards, till technically entering, people still consider it's a Sindh Sagar Doab. That means Jhelum joins in Chenab and Chenab gathers Ravi, and until this region is a Sindh Sagar Doab. It's an extension. And this is a desert and semi-desert area called Thal region. That is an extension of Marustali of Rajputana in the western side of Aravalli Mountains, somewhere here. Mighty Aravalli Mountains, the Jaisalmer, Bikaner, Jodhpur, and all those regions are Marustali or Thar desert. In the princely state of Bahawalpur, south of Sutlej, they are called Cholistan regions or Cholistan desert. As we move into Sindh Sagar, that is called Thal desert. So, is the Thal desert Sindh Sagar Doab? There is an overlap of this terminology. Thal desert sometimes we can broadly use as a synonym for Sindh Sagar Doab, but essentially Sindh Sagar Doab, broadly speaking, it contains a southern part and this Thal desert and Salt Range Mountains and Potohar Plateau, especially starting from Attock city on the west side and Rawalpindi, Islamabad regions in the southern side. Here the Pakhtunkhwa, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region called Swabi, and all those regions are present in the Haripur, Abbottabad, Manshera, between the Jhelum river on one side and Sindhu river on other side, but generally they are not considered as a Sindh Sagar Doab. By definition, the Doabs are plains, round about 200 meters to 300 meters, an average 250 meters. That is the topographic elevation of Indraprastha city, somewhere here, that is other name for Delhi. If you take 250 as a demarcation point for the most of the districts in the Indo-Gangetic plains, you can see Doabs are essentially plains. So the Potohar Plateau, strictly speaking, is not in the Doab. It comes in the Doab region, but it is a elevated region, a plateau, 600-700 meters above sea level, certain highest point in the Salt Range. Skirting the Potohar Plateau, you may get up to 1500 meters or so. Because in the Rawalpindi district, and we have Murray Tehsil here, and we have Taxila Tehsil, and we have Gujar Khan. But Murray Tehsil, the Murray city, is like a hill station, more than 1000 meters above sea level. So generally that is not considered as a Sindh Sagar Doab or plains, even though it comes in the interflow region, that is the technical name for Doaba or Doab, between Jhelum river and Indus river, Dhariya Sindhu. That's the what Sindh Sagar Doab means. Again, I will give you one more clarification doubt here. The term Sagar is a Sanskrit word. Sagar means a big body of water. That is the name given generally for ocean, Sagar, Sagar Mata. as the Sindh Sagar forms the delta, and west of Karachi city is a metropolitan area in the Sindh province of Pakistan, and it joins Sindh Sagar. That is the historical name from the Indian perspective for Arabian Sea. After alienated rulers took over Indian government, they forgot to change or did not bother to change about the local names to give some cultural heritage for the students and audience. That is the different story. The context I am talking about is Sindh Sagar means it is the local name, eponym for Arabian Sea. Like the Persian Gulf is a local eponymous name for the people of Persia, which is a historical heritage. That Gulf region surrounded by Persia, now Arab states. Arabs, after they gained Islam and imposed their religion and culture, Arabic imperialism in that area conquered Persia, they gave that region, because as rulers, Arabian Gulf. But Persians didn't agree for that, so they still call it Persian Gulf. In Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and Emirates, those areas, they call it Arabian Gulf. So they tell their version. That is nothing wrong. It's not fighting or anything. They say this region we call Arabian Gulf. They call it Persian Gulf. And some people try to mediate. Let's call it Islamic Gulf. So Persians didn't agree for that. Persia predated Islamic civilization. It is an ancient civilization. So that is the point we have to keep around. So when you say Sindh Sagar, that's the Sindh Sagar, that is the Arabian Ocean. When you say Sindh Sagar Doab, that is the interflow between the mighty Sindh River on the west and most of the Jhelum River in the east, and after its joining the Chenab River. That is the Sindh Sagar Doab. Coming to what are the districts, we cover all the districts irrespective of that. Sindh Sagar Doab is also called Thal region or a desert region. In the Potohar Plateau region, we have a Rawalpindi district and Attock district, and we have a Chekwal district here, and we have a Jhelum district that is in the Potohar region. It is a transition zone between the Maharaja Dogra's territory and pure Punjab Plains on the south and Pashtun speaking areas on the west of Indus River, that is the Trans-Indus River, and so on. So that is the transition zone where predominantly Punjabi, Urdu, Hindustani, Potohari, Hinduko languages are spoken. As you move south to actual Sindh Sagar Doab, that is Mian Valley district. The Mian Valley district, here we have Isakel and Kalabag, but generally they are on the western side of river Indus, so they technically doesn't come under Sindh Sagar Doab, but administratively you can consider. So that is the point you should keep in mind. And we have Mian Valley district, and we have the Bhakkar area and Layyah. So we have Potohar region or Potohar region, and these regions are historically the arid, semi-arid regions with sandy, loamy soils like that. Bhakkar, less populated, less urban civilization. The Sher-e-Punjab, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, conquered these areas in the later part, especially. This area is called west of Indus, Dera region, Dera Valley region, Derajat region. I have included here, that is predominantly Dera Ghazi Khan and Rajanpur area and so on. So Layyah and Bhakkar on the southern part of Thal region or Sindh Sagar Doab, and we have Muzaffargarh district, that is the headquarters is where Multan district will be somewhere here. So Sindh Sagar Doab on the east side is separated from the Multan district and Khanewal district, and this is Jang district. And one thing we have to keep in mind, the geography gets a little bit complicated. We have a historical Shapur district or Sargodha district. Shapur Sargodha district has two tehsils when the British annexed the Khalsa Kingdom in 1849 after deposing Maharaja Dalip Singh, son and successor of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. It has in this area Sargoda, and in this area it is a Kushab. So the entire area is called Shapur. You have Shapur town, Kushab town and Sargoda. And Shapur town, Shapur area and Sargoda area falls into Jech Doab, Jhelum Chenab River Doab, Jech Doab, also called Chaz Doab, that is Chenab Jhelum Doab. Only the Kushab region comes under Sindh Sagar Doab. Again, because the way the British have drawn the district boundaries of the Jang district, it covers Sindh Sagar Doab on one side, it covers Rechna Doab here, it covers Jech Doab or Chaj Doab. And we have a Sharko, we have Jang here, that's the place where it gathers river Jhelum. And we have Sharkot, that's the important cantonment area at that time. So the Sharkot and Jang, they are other side of Jhelum river or other side of later continuation Chenab river. So they doesn't come under Sindh Sagar Doab. Only the western portion of the Jang district are in the Thal region and under Sindh Sagar Doab. And again this area after Jhelum, there is a small micro area that is called Kutch region in the Thal. Kutch here, again you have to keep in mind the words are used in different geographical regions. Kutch here is different from other Kutch province or former Kutch princely state today in Gujarat province of Bharat. That is, you have Kutch region, Saurashtra region, or there is Kathiawad region and Gujarat Plains in Gujarat province. We have Kutch there, and here also a small region called Kutch, that is the bigger Thal area or Sindh Sagar Doab. So that is in brief about the Sindh Sagar Doab and Thal desert region, which is an arid region, poorly developed region in terms of modern economic development. Still it has other things like habitat, local culture, still those things. It covers the Potohar region, it covers the Salt Range region, Kala Chitta mountains north of Attock regions, that is Attock and Hassan, Abdal and those regions. We have Kala Chitta regions and Margala Mountains, Murray Hills in the Rawalpindi district, south of this region. And let's look at, and these are the districts like Sindh Sagar Doab has Attock district and Rawalpindi district, Jhelum district, and we have Chekwal district, and we have Mian Valley district, and Kushab region of Shapur district, and certain western portion of the Jang district, and Bhakkar district, Layyah district, and Muzaffargarh district, and across the Trans Indus we have Dera Ghazi Khan district, and here we have Dera Ismail Khan district, even though they are not Sindh Sagar Doab. Just I mentioned it for continuity and for your clarity. And we are looking here our Google map, and we can see. Yeah, we start our journey at Verinag, Anantnag. The source of river Jhelum winds through, because the Jhelum is other side of the Doab. So we are continuing, and we have Sopur and Bandipur, Baramulla, Uri. Then the gorge goes here up to Muzaffarabad. Where it gets the Kishan Ganga tributary. We have Muzaffarabad district here, they have Poonch district, and they have Mirpur district here. You see the Mirpur city. So Muzaffarabad, Poonch. This is Jhelum, and this is the Salt Range, and this is Soan river. This is a tributary of Indus. You should not get confused here in the Chekwal region and Talang town, and you have Chekwal here. So the Mirpur, the Jhelum skits, and we have Jhelum and Karian, Mandi Bahauddin and Bhalwal, and so on. So this is the Jhelum river, and This is the Nanga Parbat, and we get the Indus River here in the gorge, and it skits the Nanga Parbat. You see the Nanga Parbat here. Nanga Parbat around about 8,800 and so meters, 8.8 kilometers, one of the very high mountains in the Himalayas. And we have, the river continues at Sazin, and Dasu and Sazin, the river enters into Pakhtunkhwa, the Pashto-speaking areas of Pakistan. And this is the Terbela Dam and the Terbela Gorge, and we are talking about Sindhu River or Indus River, Darya Sindhu. It continues and it gathers its west side tributary Kabul River that originates in the Kabul Basin across the Khyber Pass in the Afghania territory, and we continue from Attock. There is a gorge here, and it continues and separates this is the Potohar region. So Potohar regions, the Punjabi, Potohari, Hindko speaking, and Urdu and Hindustani, and the western side is Pashtun speaking people mostly, is a transition zone, and then it hits the Kalabag Dam here. We have Kalabag Dam here. You can see Kalabag Dam here, and the Kalabag Gorge, and we have Mian Valley, and we have Isa Kale somewhere here, and this is then it comes into, we have this is the Thal region. That means we have Jhelum here and we have Indus River. Thus the actual Thal region are generally considered the Sindh Sagar Doab. That is the south from Mian Valley, south of Juhairabad, and we have the Bhakkar district here, and we have Layyah district here, and Kot Adu, and is the Multan on the other side, and the Doab continues, and we have Muzaffargarh district here, and continues, that means the northern boundary or southern boundary here will be Panjnad River. This is Uch Sharif and Alipur somewhere here where all the rivers they join. That is essentially Chenab River and southern Sutlej River. This is the Mithankot, and until then here the Indus River, then the Panjnad River, then the Chenab River, then the Jhelum River. This is broadly a Sindh Sagar Doab we discuss about, and we can see this in other beautiful format. I think I closed that one. Let me see, still at open. No, I lost it. I should have shown that. Let me open that one. That gives generally much broader outlook than the Google Earth. That gives a different perspective. And let's see quickly whether we can open this. We switch the map to let's say E3 maps, satellite views. Let's see. Sorry for interruption. I accidentally closed this. Yeah, we get a better view now. Again, we are showing the same thing for clarity, for comparison. You can see here the Valley of Kashmir and the Jhelum River here, and the Jhelum River, Muzaffarabad, the Jhelum Gorge going to Muzaffarabad, and the Jhelum River continues the Mirpur where the river falls into Punjab Plains, and the river continues here, and the other side we can see a Nanga Parbat here, the better form of Nanga Parbat. You can see the mighty the Nanga Parbat here, and the river, the Kailas, the Gilgit River joins here is the Nanga Parbat. So the river takes a turn, continues Jammu and Kashmir, Maharaja Hari Singh's territory, a place called Sazin. The river enters, skips the Hazara region, the mountainous region, and the river continues, and you can see somewhere here the Terbela Dam will be somewhere here. Yeah, this is the Terbela Gorge, and you see the Campbellapur. That is the other name for Attock district, because Colin Campbell was a prominent the British government official and collector or divisional commissioner in the British Punjab at that time, and he called in his name is called Colin Campbell or Campbellpur. That is nothing but Attock district, the original name, and still it's called Attock district. And we are continuing our journey, and this is the Kalabag. See the Kalabag near Mian Valley, We are continuing other side of the Sindh Sagar Doab, and we see the Potohar Plateau, and we have Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Gujar Khan, this region separated by the Jhelum River here, Chakwal, and we continue our journey in the western side of Indus River, and we enter into Thal region. See here you can clearly see the arid region represented by white, still more arid when compared to the green Punjab Plains. Sindh Sagar Doab is the most aridest part of this and the Sindh River, Darya Sindhu, mighty Indus River, you can see there are Ismail Khan, the Pashtun speaking area in the west, there are Ghazi Khan and Multan. So here you can see the clearly the Thal region or desert region or Marustali region, an extension of Thal region of Rajputana and Kohar-e-Namak, and you can see at Jang, after Jang, the river Jhelum joins Chenab here in the Atara Hazaran region, and generally some people may not consider it as a Sindh Sagar Doab, but essentially it's an extension of Sindh Sagar Doab. The river continues at Kohar-e-Namak, and we have gathering of the Chenab river here, Ravi river here at Alipur Sial region, and Ahmadpur Sial region, and Muzaffargarh. It continues. You have Panjnad river here. You can see the Panjnad river here, and the Indus river and Mathankot here. So that's in brief about the mighty Sindh Sagar Doab. We are discussing the Sindh Sagar Doab. We discussed the Sindh Sagar Doab today. Sindh Sagar Doab is one of the 5 Doabs of Punjab. It also called Thal region is a semi-desert arid region. It is the aridest of among all the 5 Doabs of Punjab. Punjab is the land of 5 Doabs, that is called Panjab. Punjab, 5 Doabs, 5 Abs water bodies. There is a 5 rivers, Abs water bodies. We have 5 Doabs interflows. Westernmost part is Sindh Sagar Doab. It has a district in the Potohar area, Attock district, Rawalpindi district, Jhelum district, and Chakwal district, and Muzaffargarh district, Layyah district, and Bhakkar district, and certain portion, entire main valley district, sans Isa Kale region in the western part, and parts of the Kushab, that is Shapur district, and parts of the Jang west of Sharkot and Jang cities. So that's what I wanted to talk today, and this is your presenter, facilitator at South Asia in Maps, where we target to get you the entire periscopic or integrated view of Indian history, culture, geography, heritage, always through iconographic forms, some form of images or pictures, mostly maps, so that the audience can greatly understand and absorb them very easily. These things will be very imprinted. You start loving the land when you know more about it. When we talk about Sindh Sagar, when we talk about Thal region, in the saga about Kacha region and Potohar, Salt Range, Chakwal region, the Kohar-e-Namak, or Layyah, Bhakkar, Deravat. If you don't know, you don't appreciate what other person is talking. If you are exposed to this terminology and look at the map, look at the ground level, the Google Maps, and you know, this is very interesting to know about your land, East Punjab or West Punjab, or even if you are living outside Purbi Punjab or outside Paschim Punjab, outside South Asia or India or Pakistan, somewhere else, if you are interested to learn. So we'll try to bring you a good knowledge, and I have taken an approach when I see a lot of people putting the video YouTube channels on Punjab, I see they're only talking about a truncated Punjab, that is Purbi Punjab from India, and people from the west side of Ravi, our Musliman brothers, they talk about only in the Urdu language, the Punjab, that is West Punjab. Punjab is a big historical region. In this channel, under Punjab region geography, I will cover a broad range, anything related to historical Punjab, a cultural Punjab, Punjab east of the Khyber Pass, and Punjab west of the Delhi ridge in Indraprastha, Punjab west of Lahul and Spiti, that is the Jaskar mountains here, Punjab north of Mithankot, north of Kashmir, Kandkot north of Sukha, and Punjab east of Baluchistan Plateau, and that is east of Suleiman Mountains. So I cover the broad area. This niche I would like to fulfill for the audience in English communication. So anywhere on the planet Earth, you can open this, can understand, because the presentation is not given either in Hindi or Jawani Urdu or in Hindustani or Saraiki or Punjabi. It is given by a non-Punjabi, a non-Pakistani, non-Hindustani, that means North Indian, Uttar Bharat person. It is given by a person who didn't live in Punjab but from his studies, his appreciation as a serious student of Punjab for more than 3.5 or 4 decades in English perspective, from a South Indian, from a Deccani, your facilitator, J. Reddy, and I appreciate your feedback. Please do subscriptions and send me post your comments so that we can make this channel a better educational channel for bringing a good amount of knowledge of South Asia. And thank you very much, friends and Mitrum, and we see you later and continue our fascinating journey in the land of Sher-e-Punjab, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, whose last remains still live along the Ravi River in the Five Doabs region at historic city of Lahore, west of Radcliffe Award. Thank you very much.